Good morning, dear friends. Today we are going to start new chapter, or we can say new unit, having name normal subgroup. In SYBSC, we already studied subgroup chapter, and here we are going to see various types of subgroup. Say what is the definition, what is the concept of normal subgroup, what is simple group, what is quotient group, then improper, proper subgroup. We are also going to study some theorems and properties of normal subgroup with the help of examples. Criteria for subgroup to be normal subgroup. What are the conditions when some subgroup will be normal? Such type of theorem we are going to see. We are also going to discuss intersection and union of normal subgroup. What are the conditions? Which are the conditions on normal subgroup? We are also going to see example, like suppose H is a normal subgroup of K is a normal subgroup of G, but that doesn't imply H is a normal subgroup of G. Though in set theory we see the example like H is a subset of A is a subset of say B is a subset of C, then A is automatically subset of C. But here it is not, we can get the guarantee that say H is a normal subgroup of G. So very interesting chapter. You should go through the definition of normal subgroup thoroughly. Then and then you can compatible with the theorems and properties of normal subgroup and criteria for subgroup to be normal. So let us start with the definition of normal subgroup. Let us start normal subgroup chapter. So as per introduction, first of all we should start from definition. Everybody know the subgroup of a group G. Group contain 4 conditions, and suppose H is a subgroup of G, when we can say if AB inverse belongs to H, for all A and B belongs to H, then this is the condition for subgroup that we already studied in SYBSC. So before defining normal subgroup, N should be subgroup of G. So let us start definition. Let N be a subgroup of group G. N is said to be normal subgroup of G if for all small g belongs to G, for all N belongs to N, G and G inverse, such type of product that should be contained in N. Diagram you can remember with the help of diagram. This is N is a subgroup of G, so we wrote here or plot here like N is a subset of G, G is a group and N is a subgroup of G. So small g is any element in G, it may be inside N or outside N. G inverse also, it may be outside N or inside N. So product G N G inverse that must be contained in the N set. If this property holds, then that N is said to be normal subgroup of G. So we take example. Suppose we take G as a S3 group, symmetric group, defined on 3 symbol. Here in S3 there are 6 elements: identity element, phi, psi, then phi composite psi composite phi, and last is psi square. We already discussed this S3 in third chapter. And this having property that phi square is equal to identity permutation, psi cube equal to identity, and phi psi square equal to psi phi. So let us again observe this table. This is a composition table under permutation multiplication. From this table we get the idea about inverses or their multiplication. Suppose we have to find the multiplication. Suppose we have to find phi psi square phi inverse. How we can evaluate? With the help of this table. Here phi is there and here E is there. So phi composite phi is E, means inverse of phi is phi. So what is value of phi inverse is phi itself. So and psi square can be written as psi into psi. So to evaluate this, so we have to write this thing as a phi composite psi into psi composite phi. So just take the product of these two terms. See here phi composite psi, here phi composite psi is there, and also see psi composite phi, here psi composite phi. So their product is here psi is there, phi composite psi and psi composite psi. We start from bottom to top or left to right. So answer will be psi. Similarly, suppose we have to find, say, psi square phi. How we are to evaluate? So to evaluate this, we have to consider this is as a psi into psi phi. So here two ways we can do. Here make this bracket psi composite psi phi like this. See the table, here psi is there and psi phi is here. So phi composite psi will be answer. Or other way is, if you consider psi composite psi phi. So instead of making bracket here, we can make the bracket like this, psi square into phi, and again use the table. I use blue chalk to define multiplication. Psi square into phi. Here is a psi square and here phi is there. So product will be phi composite psi. Same answer you will get. So in this way we have to do the multiplication. This is just small revision because we have to consider the example and non-example of a normal subgroup of a G. So let us consider suppose we consider n is equal to I psi square. Clearly this is a subgroup of G because inverse of psi is psi square, because psi into psi square, that is identity in C, and inverse of psi square is psi. If you do the multiplication of these any two elements in this, that is occur in or comes in N. So this is a subgroup of G. So we have to check N is normal subgroup of G or not. This also we can denote normal symbol as a N triangle G and read as a N normal in G. We have to check it. Actually here this is an example, there is N is normal in G, but how we can tally or how it will work? To explain the definition, we consider, say, take G equal to, say, phi. So what is G inverse? Phi inverse means phi is there. So if N is normal in G, then this product phi N phi inverse, that must be equal to or containing N. We have to check it. How we can check? We have to multiply each element of N, pre-multiply by phi and post-multiply by phi inverse. So here this is our N. So phi I phi inverse, phi psi phi inverse, last is phi psi square phi inverse. This is, if we simplify this, phi composite I, that is phi. Phi into phi inverse is identity element. Then phi composite psi composite phi inverse. This phi inverse is nothing but the phi. So phi composite psi composite phi. With the help of table, we can get the psi square answer. Here also we already evaluated this one, so that will be the psi we discussed earlier. So in short, that is nothing but the N, means that is belong to N or subset of N. Each and every element belong to N. So that's why you can say G inverse belongs to N. G is not necessary always we have to take phi. You can take psi, any element in G, and multiply, pre-multiply and post-multiply by its inverse, and take any element in N. If that is contained in N, then N is normal. Again, similarly we can verify. Phi composite psi N and phi composite psi bracket. Here take G is equal to, say, this, and G inverse is equal to phi composite psi bracket inverse. So N is already we have known. If you multiply each and every element of N, pre-multiply by phi composite psi, here identity was there, and post multiply by phi composite psi bracket. For second element also, phi composite psi phi composite psi bracket. Last element is phi composite psi square phi composite psi bracket inverse. Here note that phi composite psi, its inverse with the help of table, that is nothing but the phi composite psi itself. From this table we can get. So here in short, phi composite psi and psi composite, and again phi composite psi. Phi composite psi, psi, and here phi composite psi. Phi composite psi, psi square, phi composite psi. So if you do the multiplication here with the help of table, we get this is nothing but the identity. Here we get psi square and here we get psi, because psi into psi square is psi cube, that is identity, and here we get only phi into phi psi, means phi square again identity, only psi remains, so that's why it is psi, that is nothing but the n. So in short, this condition obeyed by G, and G is equal to phi composite psi. So in this way we can test each and every element. Here we took first G equal to phi, then G equal to phi composite psi. We can take, if we take here G equal to psi composite phi, then its inverse is given by psi composite phi itself. Then you will get the answer psi composite phi n psi composite phi bracket inverse, that is equal to I psi psi square. This is good assignment to you. You can check like this with the help of table. So in short, if you do like this for all elements, then we come to the conclusion that, observe that n is normal subgroup of G, that is denoted by n is a normally G. So it is not necessary all subgroups are normal in G. Now we take again another example. Say we can say non-example of, say non-example of normal subgroup, means it is a group but not normal. Again take G equal to S3 and take H is equal to I comma phi. So this is a subgroup because itself it is a group. Here identity element is present, inverse is also present, inverse of phi is phi, inverse of I is I, closure property also satisfy, I into phi is phi, that is containing N, containing H. So all these four properties are satisfied by H. So H itself is a group. So H is a subgroup of G. So we have to, this is example of non-example of normal subgroup. Why it is non-example? See here, take or choose G equal to psi. So what is G inverse? G inverse is nothing but the psi square. Note that, because psi cube is identity, so G inverse is psi square. Or from this table we can easily conclude that G inverse is a psi square. So consider psi and take small n element as a phi. So take G small n G inverse, that is equal to say phi n, value of n is say phi, G equal to psi. We have to take G inverse means psi inverse, that is what is psi square. Or before that, you can, instead of writing directly, we go step by step. This is nothing but the psi phi, psi inverse means psi square. So with the help of table, see the psi composite phi, composite psi square. Here this is one element, this is another element. Do the multiplication, psi composite phi into psi square, we get phi composite psi. And this element does not belong to H. That's why condition of the normal subgroup not made by H. So H is not normal subgroup of G. So from this non-example, we may get idea that not necessarily every subgroup is normal. Or remark we can say, every non-trivial group, say G, has at least how many normal subgroup? Has at least two normal subgroup. Namely, can you tell me or guess? G itself, every G is a normal subgroup of group G, and second is E, singleton E we can say. We already know the E is a subgroup of G, G is a subgroup of G, but they are normal subgroup also. And these are called improper or trivial normal subgroup of G. These are called improper and trivial normal subgroup. So now we take next definition. Definition of simple group. G is called simple group if it has no proper non-trivial subgroup. A group G is known as simple group if it has no proper non-trivial normal subgroup. In other words, it has only two normal subgroups, namely G itself and E. So in other words, we can write as if G is a simple, then it has only two normal subgroups, namely G itself and E. Now we take theorem regarding abelian group and normal. Means note that every subgroup of abelian group is normal. So how we can prove this? Let G be the abelian group. In short, we write G is abelian group and H is a subgroup of G. So what is our target? Want H is a normal subgroup of G. That means it is enough to show G H G inverse belongs to H for all G belongs to G and for all H belongs to H. If this condition satisfied, then we can say H is a normal subgroup of G. Since H is just notation H and G, so we can come to the conclusion that every subgroup of abelian group is normal. We have given G is abelian, means what is meaning of abelian? It holds commutative property, means AB equal to BA. So consider GH G inverse. We start from this our journey from considering this term and we try to show this comes in H. So observe that this can be written as HG inverse. We can write the bracket by associative property, and we know since G is abelian, means HG inverse can be written as G inverse H because G is abelian. Since G is abelian, we can write this way. So here we can write as a G inverse H. Again use the associative property. This bracket we can shift like this, G inverse H. And what is G inverse? That is EH. And what is EH? Simple H. And H is belongs to capital H, means set H. So this left hand side, that is also comes in a H, that is GH G inverse belongs to H. So this implies we already proved G inverse belong to H. G and H are arbitrary. G belongs to G, any element, and H is any element in H. So such type of product containing H, that's why H is a normal subgroup of G. So friends, we observe every subgroup of abelian group is normal, but converse of above result is not true. Note that converse of above result is not true. Means there is a group which is non-abelian, but its every subgroup is normal. Can you guess that group? That group having name, say, quaternion group, suppose, and it is denoted by Q8. It contains 8 elements, plus minus 1, plus minus I, plus minus J, plus minus K. Where I square equal to minus 1, J square equal to minus 1, and K square equal to also minus 1. Minus I can be written as minus 1 into I. 1 square can be written as minus 1 bracket square, like a complex. And I into J can be written as minus of J into I, and its product is K. To remember this, you should remember this circle. If this is I, this is J, and this is K. So I into J is K. J into K is minus K into J, and that is nothing but the I. K into I is nothing but the minus I into K, that is nothing but the J. So Q8 is multiplicative group, means binary operation is multiplication. And moreover, it is non-abelian. Why non-abelian? Because I and J are two elements, say, they are not equal to J into I, or J into K is not equal to K into J. That's why it is clearly non-abelian group. It contains 8 elements. Cardinality of Q8 is 8. So though this is non-abelian group, but every subgroup of this group is normal. There are 5 subgroup, proper subgroup. Our first is 1 plus minus 1, this is second subgroup. Third subgroup is plus minus 1 plus minus I. You can check it, all these are subgroup. Plus minus 1 plus minus J, plus minus 1 plus minus K are 5 subgroup of Q8. and all these are normal, and all are normal in Q8. I hope you understand this counter example, that this example gives the idea every subgroup of non-abelian group may be also normal, not necessary abelian. G will require abelianness. Now we take example. We already observed the definition of a simple group. G is a simple if it has only two normal subgroup, namely G and identity element. Now we take example that show that every group, we can say, of prime order is simple. Means a group, suppose order is 7, then that is simple, means it do not have the subgroup, means improper subgroup, it do not have improper, or we can say non-trivial normal subgroup. So solution, let G be any group of prime order. So order of G will be P. P is a prime. Let H is a subgroup of G. It is any subgroup. So by Lagrange theorem, order of H divides order of G. So that means order of H divides P. That means P can be written as some K into order of H. K is some integer, or we can say positive integer. So since P is a prime, so what may be your guess? Order of H is either it is 1 or order of H is P. Factorization of P. P having only two divisors, 1 and P. And H is really a subgroup of G. So from this we can imply, we can get the either H equal to E or H is equal to, order of H equal to P means all elements in G, means H is equal to G. So this implies G has only two normal subgroup. G has only two normal subgroup, namely E and G itself. So that's why we can say G is simple by the definition. G is a simple group. I hope you understand this problem. Now onwards, you should remember that if a group, suppose it has priming order, then it do not have improper normal subgroup. Now we end up this lecture with one small question, That question is that check A3 means alternating group, means we already know it is a subgroup of S3, symmetric group depend on 3 symbol. So whether it is normal or not. True or false? All of you understand question? You should familiar with this symbol S3. It contains 6 permutations. We also observe the table, and A3 is nothing but the set of even permutation group. In previous lecture we took such type of groups. So come with answer. In next lecture I hope you will come with answer.